the chicken dinner thing, innit? Because someone from Haaland's winning. I think Feyenoord, Roma probably have too much. It's Jose Mourinho. I don't know why that poll ended, G1. I beg you, Pat, and that appreciate that. But Jose Mourinho, I just think destiny's ready for him. He's cerebral. You know, last time Spurs shagged him out of a final. This is his next final. There's an opportunity to win. He was saying things like in the build-up to the game, he was like, we kind of threw away Serie A to focus on this. So yeah, this is what Jose Mourinho's made for, innit? So yeah, it is what it is. One love to everybody, obviously welcoming me in. This could have been Arsenal next season. It's not. God is great every time, man. God is great every time. It could be better, it could be worse, man. Let's go, Nketiah. He's saying Man United and Arsenal fans. You see that picture, that meme where someone's a blood and someone's a crip and they tie the bandana. Everyone doing that for Nketiah. Reece to smash a hat-trick tonight and announce himself to the world. I'll walk up for England versus Croatia. I hope so, man. And as my guy has said here, big up DG in the chat. Don't forget to smash a like on the way in, people. One love to those of you who have. As usual, can we get 100 likes? Miles has said, big up DG. Thoughts on Eddie's new deal? Now, you're killing me a bit, Carl. Pause, because I want to speak about that tomorrow. Obviously, live business where 10 a.m. and 11:30 live streams, or 10:30 concerned really. But I'm happy for the P's. Like whether Nketiah, is going to make it here or not is another thing. But there's money to be made, and he's kind of shown he's gone beyond being a sort of squad player to a rotation/squad player now. I've said it before, Tyrese, John Jules, Balogun and Eddie, we should be in a scenario where you make 60 million. I don't think it's unreasonable to try and aspire to, if they're not going to make it here, 20 million or pop on the player, really. So to have his contract and Balogun's deals tied down, of course, it wouldn't be Arsenal if there wasn't drama. Obviously, Eddie, if you know, in an ideal world, I still want two strikers, Gab Jesus and someone else, and Eddie, you can be part of the squad, but we might be where we started in this sort of thing where we're concerned in it. So it is what it is. That tells me that it probably would be one, really. Like it probably be Eddie and Nketiah and one of Gab Jesus or any of the guys we're linked with. So it's good for Eddie. He's shown his quality, obviously. Like Smith Rowe and Saka, they've elevated their squad status. And, you know, there's a bit of expectation on you now because it was almost a welcome surprise, almost seeing what he could do with the starts he's got. Obviously, we're seeing him physically get better. He's done quite well in what I would call when the season really started for him, where he got to start against Chelsea, bagged the brace, should have scored against United, but played very well. Had a good game against West Ham, again, should have scored. And he got a brace recently against Leeds, and I'm sure he bagged against Everton on the last day. Quite fitting for him against Everton, because I remember Everton away, he struggled once and he really missed a chance, but he's growing, he's developing, he's doing his thing. Now, if I'm looking at it on a cerebral thing, by all means, grow and develop. But is it wise necessarily for all the potential Eddie does or doesn't have to become something in the squad or other players making up the numbers? You know, we all do the speaking about Gab Jesus, you know. We all think maybe, you know, if he gets a platform to play up front or in a different sort of light for Arsenal, he might show goals. But Gab Jesus doesn't really have a solid record of goals. They only got 8 in the Premier League, 4 came in one game. And for me, he really started turning the corner when he was linked with Arsenal. And I know strikers are more functional system players nowadays, and there's really a gap for quality. But is it wise to really bet on Eddie, who's got 4 or 5 goals, you know, really, you know, next season? He hasn't got a strong body of work, no disrespect to him. And Gab is the same. He's got 8 goals, you know, that for a team that lacks goals and needs goals, I know we're not in a position to get confirmation. And if it is, that is what it is. I'm just providing a different perspective. Is it wise? Because Arteta's got to show, he's almost got to draw blood from a stone, because you've got to get a reasonable amount of goals from Eddie and whatever striker, you know. We've had strikers come here, we talk about, you know, they work hard and all these things. These things are irrelevant. The next striker has to score goals. Anything he does a bonus. So as long as Arteta knows what he's trying to do with the squad and these guys' potential, and, you know, I know Ramsdale hasn't been amazing, but I don't think he's been bad. I'm only using Ramsdale because I thought he was a decent keeper. I didn't know that he could play with his feet, sort of thing. So maybe Arteta, having worked with him, he thinks Jesus can bag. But when Pep speaks and TJ speaks about him, they always talk about hard work and that, innit? So you got to work hard, but boy, I don't know it really, because we need to make up the deficit. We, you know, for what we banter Spurs and all these things, even though they finished 4th, you know, they can sit there and bank on Son, who finished the joint top goal scorer. Kane took basically half the season off. He's got a respectable amount. Kulusevski in half the season has bagged. You know, obviously you've got Gabriel Jesus that isn't a goal scorer, has to learn to score goals. At 25, I hope we're the guys to give him a platform and he does what he's doing. You know, Eddie, let's see what you can do when there's an expectation to perform over a 38-game period. We've obviously got Saka and Smith Rowe. Saka, who's done quite well in terms of goals and assists. I don't know if he hasn't done it for years, so I don't know if he's going to bet on that. I know we're doing the young squad thing and all of this, but you need to put, you know, goals win games, and we're not necessarily a goal scoring side. You know, I do think we need to make up the numbers from wide players here and there, and obviously midfield is subjective, but you know, Odegaard definitely has the capacity, in my opinion, to score more goals. Smith Rowe kind of took the half season off. He can do that. I'm not expecting Xhaka, definitely not Partey, even though he did bag. Xhaka's, you know, it's not that unless that we could play De Gea every week. Not expecting or Lokonga, not expecting goals from these lot. Midfield is subjective, Carl. We don't really have guys that are physically imposing, mad technicians, goal scorers there, creative dons. So it is what it is, really, where that game is concerned, really, or where Arsenal's concerned, really and truly. Where did we start waffling about this? So that's love for that, because I'm going to cut that up, and that's going to become, well, someone on Twitch could help me and cut that up, really, but that's going to become thoughts on Eddie's new deal quickly. And obviously we'll expand on that tomorrow, but yeah, I'll probably miss some of the points. Great question, Miles. Great warm-up, man. 5 minutes until kickoff, folks. Any questions, talking points, etc.? Feel no sort of way about getting them in, people. Here for the Tammy Abraham storyline. It's romantic, innit? Big up Tammy. He's gone to Italy. Come on, let's cut the crap. You know, if you're IC3 and them Italian man are loving you and that, you must be doing all right. And they've, you know, they're worshipping him really, because he's got chance playing for a massive club like Roma, Jose Mourinho platform in the England squad. He's doing his thing. Shout out Tammy, man. It must, you know, it's almost like Rangers, you know. Calvin Bassey's obviously from London, so it's identifiable, but he almost gave up playing football. You know, now look at him playing man of the match, regardless of them losing for Rangers in the Europa League in a European game. You know, playing for a massive club like Rangers. You know, young, you know, Joe Aribo over from South London. Again, this is things that, you know, you almost get to live your dreams through these guys. It's very, like, they're very identifiable for obvious reasons, man. I'm happy for Tammy's success. He just needed a platform. You know, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but, you know, shotting him for Lukaku's looking bandulu at this moment in time, really and truly. And Roma are laughing because, let's be honest, you know, let's not be romantic around it. We'll give you a platform to play. We need a striker, and obviously we'll sell you either back to Chelsea or the very market that you just came from. You know, I do like how, away from Tammy Abraham, how English players are starting to, well, I say starting, they've been doing it for a hot minute, innit? Starting to go out there and test their waters in other leagues. And I think it needs to happen on a more wider scale, and I'm thinking way too ahead. And I don't know if they're all going to be coaches, but I'm keen to see how these lot are going to turn into coaches, because you look at half the foreign coaches, they've played in many different countries. Pep played in Italy, he's played, you know, in Spain, and plenty of other examples. I wonder how this changes your perspective. You know, when you look at half the English coaches, they only really played in England. I know there's a couple of exceptions to the rule, so I'm here to see that. DG, I would consider Broughton Norton Coffee a Prem loan if a Prem team would take him, but I think, you know, we need to tone it down a bit. Half a season over there in League One. Let's let the man keep developing and doing his thing. I'd love for it, but let's just let the young 18-year-old who's still eligible actually to play at under 18s level in Brook do his thing, man. So yeah, man, check out the video I did when he was 16 with him. That's on YouTube as well, man. And Charlie Patton, Amari Hutchinson, Kyle Edwards, whole list of them there. And there's a playlist on my YouTube channel. So yeah, 3 minutes until kickoff still, people. Happy to see a brother get the bread, 100%, man. Like 100%, like 100%. Funny enough, I find, away from the obvious IC3s, I find myself very identifiable with someone like Ollie McBurney and to a degree Jack Grealish, because you've got dons like that in reality. Love for that. Tammy, watch. If we sign Jesus and Eddie gets new deals as our striking options, that's media, can't lie. Banking on a lot, and 38 Premier League games, however much in the Europa League. I want to go to the FA Cup final, as any Arsenal fan should. However many games that is. Carling Cup, you're in it, you might as well. You need a lot of goals still. And because we're doing this youngster thing, we ain't got dons that you can sit there and say score goals. If Smith, it won't surprise me if Saka starts slowly or whatever. You've seen Cristiano Ronaldo, Vardy, Kane, Aubameyang, guys that have been scoring goals for years, go for a drought. And you know the hula that's made out of it. Cristiano Ronaldo, half the people that are now breading him in the media were saying he was the problem at the club in United. But it is what it is. One love to everyone. We're 2 minutes until kickoff. Gosh, Tammy. And obviously, shout out to Mori and all them players that have gone abroad as well. Sancho as well, you know. Sancho was a pioneer, really. You know, if he sat on his ass at City, he may or may not have had the chance. He could probably have bet on he wouldn't be what he is right now. £70 million man, living his dream, massive club, etc. You know, Sancho's gonna bang soon. Pause, obviously in a footballing sense. I know you gotta protect yourself. Tammy gonna put out a Drogba-esque performance. Chelsea fans loving it, innit? Jose and the Cobham boy, La Cobham. Them man there. Tammy Abraham, how English players are starting to, well, I say starting, they've been doing it for a hot minute, innit? Starting to go out there and test their waters in other leagues. And I think it needs to happen on a more wider scale, and I'm thinking way too ahead. And I don't know if they're all going to be coaches, but I'm keen to see how these lot are going to turn into coaches, because you look at half the foreign coaches, they've played in many different countries. Pep's played in Italy, he's played, you know, in Spain, and plenty of other examples. I wonder how this changes your perspective. You know, when you look at half the English coaches, they only really played in England. I know there's a couple exceptions to the rule, so I'm here to see that. DG, I would consider Broughton Coffee a Prem loan if a Prem team would take him, but I think, you know, we need to tone it down a bit. Half a season over there in League One. Let's let the man keep developing and doing his thing. I'd love for it, but let's just let the young 18-year-old who's still eligible actually to play under 18s level in Brook do his thing, man. So, yeah, man, check out the video I did when he was 16 with him. That's on YouTube as well, man. And Charlie Patton, Amari Hutchison, Kyle Edwards. Whole list of them there. And there's a playlist on my YouTube channel. So, yeah, 3 minutes until kickoff still, people. Happy to see a brother get the bread. 100%, man. Like, 100%. Like, 100%. Funny enough, I find, away from the obvious IC3s, I find myself very identifiable with someone like Ollie McBurney and to a degree Jack Grealish, because you've got dons like that in reality. Love for that. Tammy, watch. If we sign Jesus and Eddie gets new deals as our striking options, that's media, can't lie. Banking on a lot, and 38 Premier League games, however much in the Europa League. I want to go to the FA Cup final, as any Arsenal fan should. However many games that is. Carling Cup, you're in it, you might as well. You need a lot of goals still. And because we're doing this youngster thing, we ain't got dons that you can sit there and say score goals. If Smith, it won't surprise me if Saka starts slowly or whatever. You've seen Cristiano Ronaldo, Vardy, Kane, Aubameyang, guys that have been scoring goals for years, go for a drought. And you know the hula that's made out of it. Cristiano Ronaldo, half the people that are now breading him in the media were saying he was the problem at the club in United. But it is what it is. One love to everyone. We're 2 minutes until kickoff. Gosh, Tammy. And obviously, shout out to Mori and all them players that have gone abroad as well. Sancho as well, you know. Sancho was a pioneer, really. You know, if he sat on his ass at City, he may or may not have up to him at PSG, I swear. And obviously, he must still watch Bundesliga. Tammy Abraham wins the header. Can't lie, Koku, I ain't seen you. You're getting stage fright still. Final could get a second here. No, they can't. They've read it well, final. I mean, Roma could get a second. Can't lie, man. Tammy, you're a good baller still. Ref! Out against Roma. Handbags, man. You need it. You need the energy, man. What's football without that argy-bargy, mate? It's not really football at all. I'm not rating Nkunku's thing. Why? Is it more confirmation needed? Reece Nelson on this right-hand side. Reece, Hudson Odoi thing that. I don't know about that. I can't lie, I do think Reece Nelson's a very predictable on the right-hand side. I think the left is your thing. And there could be a little role for you there. Like, it's a bit open season. Come on, S. I hope you're doing better, mate. You at Hammer? Shout out to you. I think you got West Ham done in your picture. That tattoo on Zanolio's left-hand side is wavy. I wouldn't do that, but it looks wavy still. I see the angle with the Tammy thing properly now. I see the angle. I wanted, like, obviously I would have taken him last summer when we linked with him. I said so, but I see it now. I see it. Look at Tammy's movement in the box. Centre back, you need to be aware. Ball doesn't come in. Come on. Shout the Hammers, man. I'm a hammer, but I'm an admirer of Jose, so I want Roma to win this. I'd be lying if I said I weren't all for the beef in football. I'm here for it, man. What's football without? Ooh, ref. It's a meaty tackle. Reece Nelson's on his back. I like how Reece likes to play them little 1-2s, but that weren't the place to do it. Tammy Abraham, give and go. Give it back to him. All right, good pass. Calm stroke. Can you put a ball in? Let's see if you're going to make it. That's a good ball. No one there, though, and I'm lying. It's a terrible pass. Not physical enough for the Prem and his technical ability. Shaky. Ooh. I think you're being a bit harsh with the physical stuff, you know. I think you're being a bit harsh on Nkonku, physically, of all things. Technical levels are all right. I hear you, though. If I was a Chelsea fan, I just wouldn't really want a false nine. I would, you know, man needs someone who's going to score goals. By all means, bring that, but it's a bit like Arsenal. We need someone that can, man need dons that are going to score goals first and foremost. Obviously, Nkonku has a strong body of goals in the last 18 months, specifically this season. But the false nine thing scares me. Obviously, to be fair, you went for Lukaku and it didn't work. And arguably the false nines, when you've gone with more recently Havertz, it's worked out better, really. I think he's good, though, man. I think technically he's sound. I know he's not the best sort of guy, but he kind of does that Lacazette thing. I think he dives when he needs to. He does the dark arts thing. And this number 3 could play in the Premier, in my opinion. Not for my club, though, but yeah. Oh, shaky goalkeeper from Rui Patricio. Football without beef is boring. People hate Richarlison, but I love it. His technical level is decent. I'm hearing. Nah, his technical level is decent. Still, I can't lie. I think you're being a bit harsh, Top Blue, man. I think you're being very harsh on him still. Tammy, less aggressive, less physical. Diego Costa. Nah, he's just Tammy Abraham still. I don't see that one. I hear it, though. PSG will sell Neymar for the right price. What's the right price? And there's only a couple teams that could probably buy him. If Chelsea are still on the on the Abramovich thing, and they're ready to mash up their wage structure, then they can grab him. United can grab him. City could grab him. I don't know if Pep will do that. In theory, the Spanish clubs can grab him, specifically Real Madrid and Barca. They're probably not going to. He's probably not going to go back to Barcelona. You know, Real Madrid's probably a non-story. Potential head injury for Feyenoord. Hope it's nothing serious for Dessers and he's able to continue playing. But right now is what it is. We're on the eve of half-time, folks. I think it's been a fairly even contest. I don't think both keepers have really been tested. I think both teams have not been shy. Been pleasantly surprised by Feyenoord, but fundamentally they're losing a 0-0. Good finish by Zenolio, even better pass, really. It's still 1-0. It's still open season. It's still anyone's game. Nkonku needs another year to properly establish himself. Clubs wouldn't want to get fleeced like we did with Pepe. It's true. Or Lukaku or Ndombele. I had to just, other people got to be part of it. Misery loves company, innit? And for Nkonku, you can't turn down the move. He's been linked with Madrid, but you're in this, you're doing well. You're comfortable at your club. You've got a World Cup year. Not just him, but is it wise necessarily to move during a World Cup year? Because if it bangs, it bangs. But let's just say you struggle with the league and the system and all these things, it might cost you a place. Surely it's the element of it's got to be a bit difficult to do business to a degree for Premier League clubs. And also when you sprinkle on top the season is starting earlier as well. Corner to Roma anyways. Can they get a second? It's tripled all the way through. Feyenoord have cleared their lines. No, I spoke too soon. They could be on the counter here. Smalling in no man's land. It's Dessa versus the world. Get your head up. There's only Nelson and my man to the right-hand side. He's done very well. Feyenoord have to ask a question of the goalie. This attack has to result in it. Well, I spoke too soon. He's lost it. You're not going to make it, are you? Are you? Fuck is that about, lad? When you're put on the spot, it's difficult, man. You can't, man. Individualism's gone. If you're not Messi and Neymar and them guys, then to a degree, individualism's irrelevant, really. Like, there might come a point, say, Maximin might start harming Newcastle's team. Really, it's because he's lit. And I wouldn't say they're punching to have that player, but they're punching. When they get to a certain standard, you might harm them, really. If you're not them sort of Messis and that, there's no point. That's why you saw James and Ozil and these sort of players die out because they didn't adapt and the game left them really. Unless your 10's putting up better numbers, you can't do the elegant walking around thing again. You only need your striker dropping if your midfield is not certain. No other reason to. I hear that, but also to make runs, because I do want my striker to obviously look at what Tammy's done. He's made space for others. Indirectly in that goal that Zanolio ended up bagging, Tammy's run. So you need it, but still, they do try.